that, we have a memorial that's being planned. The architect that's planned the incident that happened at the bombing in New York City, he's our architect. And so there's also a memorial that at the Charleston airport that was done. So there are a number of memorials. We are members of a commemorative committee that planned many of these areas, and there are other memorials that are being planned by the families. There are foundations that have been brought up by the families. And so and of course, this is just the beginning, because I always tell people that we are all historians and archivists and music people, that 900 days is just the beginning. Our legacy, or what we plan to leave, those are things that are being planned on a daily basis. And there are also persons who are coming almost weekly about other ideas. So yes, that thought is not lost on us. Thank you for the question.
In that little loop show that I ran while Liz was speaking, you can see some pictures of the exhibit that's at the Charleston airport. So that was the stained glass exhibit. That's where that's located.
And members of the church, they go around to other areas. I think John Hildreth with the National Historic Trust, we visit other areas where bombings, like the 16th Avenue Baptist Church in Birmingham. So we are a little bit cognizant of what's going on, and of course, architects, and we have planned persons who write grants to make sure that these things, the sacred, those areas. So there are almost hundreds of projects that have sprouted from this tragic incident.
Liz, let me just ask you one question. We've got to be winding this up.
Yeah.
But why is it, do you think, that people responded, your fellow members of the congregation responded with forgiveness, and other members of the African American community in Charleston responded as they did, but not with violence and hatred? For the racism is very much there, very much there.
Very much.
It's not that Charleston is innocent by no stretch of the imagination. So why was the response the way it was?
And I think that, and I've been asked this question a lot, so sometimes I forget a lot of my answers. But yes, I think that forgiveness spirit, and we talked about this before, even in South Carolina, you have, this is not working. In South Carolina, this is not working either. When integration occurred in South Carolina, not any deference to Mississippi or any other areas, or sometimes we say, thank God for Mississippi, South Carolina will be at the bottom. But in South Carolina, when desegregation efforts occurred, there weren't that much consternation. Clemson in 1963, when Harvey Gantt integrated the Clemson University, there were no bombings, there were no shootings, and I think this kind of thing happened in Charleston. And sometimes I use this answer. I read the books like Wade and Slavery and Cities. The way that Charleston is built, the carriage houses in the back was to control, so there have always been some degree of niceness, for lack of a better word, between the races. So yes, Charleston dances to the tune of a different drummer, and as I said, because of I forgive you, and of course African Americans, we are a forgiving people. It happened in a church, and of course you find that the religion played a part in that, and also you find that the mayor of Charleston, who people used to call him Little Black Joe, and he's very much entwined into the community, and with Chief Mullen, who was the chief of police, they came right away. So there were a number of factors that aided in that particular process, and from one woman's opinion, that just happens to be nothing.
Well, I thank y'all so much for participating.